The views and opinions expressed by contributors on the Spoon River Gothic podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the host. Material heard on the Spoon River Gothic podcast is intended for adult listeners. This podcast deals with mature topics that may not be suitable for all listeners. Listener discretion is advised. This is Spoon River Gothic, narrative of a double homicide.
Hi, Kenneth. My name is Anne Marie, and I am with Lundberg Media. We're doing the podcast about Spoon River Gothic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you had given us your number, and I'm reaching out to you to see if you'd be willing to talk to us about the Donald Bull case.
Well, from what I could tell you, I don't care. I don't know if I got much I can add to whatever you already got. We just babysatted him.
You babysat for him?
Well, I was a deputy at the time, so we took him to court. I took him to court and everything so you can say I babysat him for 3.5 weeks.
Gotcha, yeah. Do you mind if I record this interview?
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay. So, just whatever you have to say about the case and Donald Bull, I am all ears.
Well, I don't, like I say, we was assigned to take care of him, get him to court, get up in the morning, go get him we kept him at Schuyler County Jail, or Hancock County Jail, excuse me. And we would get him, take him to court, or take him to the courthouse there in Carthage, set him in a room away from everybody, bring him out, sit there close to him during the trial. Then at lunchtime, we would take him back to the Hancock County Jail. And then after lunch, we'd go get him, go through everything again. At the end of the evening, we'd take him back and put him back in there and do the whole thing all over again the next day. He never let on like he did this. He was just calm and cool, like, they don't have me on this case, and just sitting there listening to everything. We knew he had him. It was just so obvious, but he just was so sure of himself that he wasn't going to get convicted. But he never really, when the guilty verdict came down, he never really reacted that much, if I remember right. And then after the verdict, it seems like, I can't remember if we brought him back to Fulton County then or left him down there, but I'm thinking we brought him back to Fulton County after that. But anyway, that's pretty much it right there in a nutshell.
So do you remember prior to having that assignment of taking him back and forth, do you remember the case as it unfolded, the fire, the murder? Do you remember hearing about that, and what were your thoughts if you did?
Oh, I just happened to be in Canton that day when the fire department went down there, and they said they had 2 bodies. But never knew anything other than that, I wasn't involved in any of the investigations.
Yeah. Did you ever talk to him? Did you have any kind of...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we talked all the time.
Oh, okay.
But he never, like I say, that's when he would just kind of act like, he wasn't going to get convicted of this. He just seemed like Mr. Cool, you know. It was like, this wasn't going to happen to him.
Did you believe that he believed that?
I think he believed he was going to fool everybody.
Okay, so you're convinced without a doubt that he did it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt he did it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? What is it about the case and what you know that really gives you that gut feeling that he did it?
Well, it was just all the evidence that they came up with. And I can't sit here and, you know, tell you all the evidence after so many years, but just sitting there listening to the trial, I know that, you know, DNA was coming out, you know, it was being used then. And it seemed like there was DNA evidence there, too, that had him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was living with Rochelle then, and I believe he came in and smelled the gas that morning, too, if I remember right. But, I mean, it's just been so long ago.
Right. What was he like, you know, physically? And, you know, that's some of the stuff we're trying to get to is sort of descriptions of him and from people who actually spent time with him.
You wouldn't think of him as being that type of person. Clean cut. He wasn't filthy mouthed. He was just a normal person, you would have thought. I guess the best way would be like Bundy. You know,
Ooh,
how charismatic he was.
Yeah.
He'd almost kind of put you in mind of that. Probably not as intelligent as what Bundy was, but he was just clean cut like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Was he a big guy?
Oh, let's see. I'm 5'8". He might have been about 5'10", if that. I don't know that he was that tall. Kind of stout shoulders. He was delivering furniture, if I remember right, so he must have had some muscle there.
Yeah, I heard that he was pretty muscular.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, he was always had his kind of winter time, if I remember. Yeah, it was in March, I think, is when it started. So he always had kind of a long sleeve shirt on, but he never gave us a problem. He never bad-mouthed us any time.
Mm-hmm.
The family would always just kind of stare at him and stuff. And
Donna's family?
Yeah. And we, you know, they never caused a problem towards us, you know, taking him in and out or anything. Nobody did. Mm-hmm. But didn't make the comment to him once. If you want to say something to him, go ahead. But I don't recall them ever saying anything
to him.
Maybe when we was leaving that last day when they sentenced him to death or something like that.
So was the whole family there? I know Donna's mother had passed.
Oh, let's see. Donna's sister was there, and I think she had a couple brothers there, and her dad was there.
What was that?
They was really neat people, nice people, and it seems like they had kind of that Jersey kind of accent to them. They was from back east somewhere, like Boston or somewhere out of that way.
Connecticut. Yeah, they lived in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, and they had that little accent to them. So when we didn't have Bull with us, we would, visit with them. And matter of fact, we got Christmas cards from them for a few years.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it seems like they sent some like chocolates or something like that to the state's attorney's office, for a couple years too. But anyway, they're just nice people. And I think there was maybe 2 brothers. I'm not sure. I can remember one standing there, and he would look at him, then he'd look at me, and then look away, and that's why I said, he ain't causing a problem. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, do you think they were satisfied? The family, do you think they were satisfied with the verdict?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
So you literally said, if you want to say something to him, you can? You told the family that?
I said, if you're going to say something to him, say something. Yes.
But they didn't really take you up on it except for the last day?
It just maybe, just a few words, and I couldn't tell you exactly what them were.
Yeah. So, are you retired now?
I am retired, and I'm enjoying it. I don't do nothing. Me and my wife started bowling here last year. No, by golly, it's been almost 2 years ago now. We got our dogs, and we bowl. Pardon the pun there. Don't really do much with the sheriff's office anymore. Of course, now friends of ours' kids are deputies and stuff now. We watch these kids grow up, and now they've taken over. So go for it, boys. We had our time. Now, where are you guys from? Jackie was telling me about this book or something. I guess she shared it on Facebook, and I sent her that picture of Doug and I walking a bull out of the courthouse one day, and she said, I can't remember if it was her made the comment or somebody else. How's come nobody knows about this? How's come it was swept under the rug? Well, it wasn't. At the time, there was press everywhere. The Canton Daily Ledger, one of their people was down there every day. The Peoria News was around. I never saw them down there at Carthage, but they were, it was a big story there for a while.
At the time.
It's just the younger generation, they never heard of it, but anyway, it was publicized quite a bit.
Well, it's interesting all the different perceptions that people have about the history and that story, and the fact that we're covering it. People have very differing views about it, which I find completely fascinating.
Well, now if you talk to some of his friends, maybe they got better. He's trying to be on his good behavior around us, of course.
Right.
But
right.
how he was away from us, I wouldn't have any idea. Like I say, the only thing I did was I was one of the deputies assigned to him to take him to court and back to jail. So I really didn't have that much involvement as far as, like I say, the investigation or anything like that. Well, how'd you get mixed up with Donnie Bull's story?
It's fun. I like it. I like to look at stories. I'm a storyteller, and I like to do research. So, that's kind of my angle. I don't really have an opinion about, I'm still learning about the case myself. And I'm learning about it through the points of view of different people by talking to them. Do you know David Haynes?
I don't know him, but I know who you're talking about, yes.
Okay.
Was he the banker or the UPS driver?
He was the banker.
Okay, yeah, he's the one that went and checked and found this stuff.
Yeah.
I remember, it seemed like he testified too.
Yeah.
Now that you bring his name up.
Right.
It seemed like it only took like 45 minutes for them to deliberate. It wasn't very long.
Right.
I know we took him back and there was a little restaurant there on the square that we was all going to. And we took him back to the jail, come back, sat down before we could even get our meal. I don't even know if it was in front of us yet. If it was, it had just got in front of us when they said that they was back. So I know it didn't take them very long.
Interesting.
Hello?
Hi, Alan. It's Anne Marie. I'm calling you. You just called me?
Yeah, I know. I just called you. Yeah, let me tell you what's going on. I have one old backup thing. I don't even know what it is. They're trying to open it up. If not, then if they can't do it, I'm going to go to Geek Squad or something. I might have some of the files there. But on one of these little, I don't even know what they call it, it looks like cigarette lighters, the backup stuff. I found one document, and it was my motion for discovery, and it does refresh my memory, and there's some interesting stuff on it. And ultimately, it's only a 4-page motion, but what's in there, and I can just tell you on the phone, he's supposed to call me back today about the other stuff, or tomorrow, so in the next couple of days we'll know whether we have any of the documents. But there's a couple of things and that we found out. One of the allegations was, in the petition, that the two snitches, this guy's first name is Croiser, and name is Chester. We believe that they had given a exchange immunity for their testimony. We made that allegation. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
All right. The next thing that we alleged, which I didn't remember, and that they suppressed evidence for the defense that there were hair samples found at the crime scene that did not match the hair of the petitioner. All right?
Okay.
Then we found that we believe that there was a polygraph test of Chester, which we never received. Then there's apparently newspaper articles that there was some evidence that was lost or destroyed. All right? The second thing, and then also the ring issue. I spoke to Kathy Kelly, who doesn't really want to be involved, but she'll help, but doesn't want to speak, on the record, said, now I remember that, they showed some of this stuff to some of the jurors, and they got this was attached to the petition, I believe. 2 jurors signed an affidavit saying there's a reasonable probability they wouldn't have voted for guilty based on the new evidence. No. So the petition is really important. My recollection is, obviously the clemency that my client didn't have, he was dead, but I believe I gave a copy to the family, and I also believe that Bull had copies of the pleadings, not the transcripts, because I traditionally give the copies to the client.
Oh, okay.
So the family had that. So, but I recommend you, if you can wait a few days, let's see if I have it in this whole gizmo, whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. I've done so many of these cases. The last thing that comes out in the trial is the truth. All right. Now, people can be guilty, but the prosecutor presents crazy evidence that's not real. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had that at least 4 or 5 times. I can give you scenarios. My client's really guilty, but the trials are simply not fair. I would have not filed a clemency petition on behalf of a dead person to exonerate us, indicating at least he didn't have a fair trial. And that's why we did it. So it's important that somehow we get a copy of this clemency, because it's like the closing argument.
Okay.
It laid everything out.
All right.
I mean, to make it real simple.
Yeah.
He could have done this, but the trial wasn't fair. All right?
Yeah.
Trust me, I've seen, and that may, I have to be honest with you, is that something phony is going on here, that we don't know. he might have done it. Maybe these other guys helped him. Who knows?
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
But there's something suspicious about the case. So I should be able to know, if I can't get it from the old printing company that printed up all the stuff, or know how to use the this gizmo. He'd never seen one before. Don't forget, this was all stored in 202. Yes, the technology. But I did the clemency in 203, which may be on this backup. I mean, I'll figure out if I can get the stuff to you. I think I have to search the telephone number. We sent an investigator down to look at the ring. His name was Joe Marr. Probably dead, because I'm 75 and this is 25. He was a retired police officer. And I think he was in the late 60s. So, I mean, this is a long time ago. Do you know the family members of Bull? They're the ones that may have the documents. I think I gave them the documents.
Okay. All right.
And they were willing to take the file. I had about 8 boxes, duplicates and all this. They never picked it up years later. I destroyed them.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
You know, especially somebody that's dead, you know, I mean, you know, some documents I give to other people, the person's still alive. Right. You know, and then you have the names of the prosecutors. I have them. They're on the motion. I'll give you the motion if I can. We'll email them to you once we found. It's only 4 pages, but the other stuff is not. Hopefully, it's in this backup gizmo, whatever it is. Okay. And if it's not, it's not. It's lost. You know, and you know. I mean, some of the stuff was done on these old computers. You know, the world of scanning is different now. Yeah, because I'm willing to say that I didn't think he had a fair trial at minimum. Nobody follows a clemency on behalf of a dead person. Okay. His name should be exonerated. That I certainly can say. That is interesting. You don't hear from me after Thanksgiving, and I'll call you before Thanksgiving. Okay. Thank you, Alan. I know by then. Okay. You know, I mean, but anyway, you know, I mean, once we get going, I kind of feel sorry for you. That's why I'm doing this. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, because this is like, you're looking at something that's long forgotten. Right. You know, and he died of natural causes, so nobody, you know, ever going to care. But, all right. So we'll speak again, but you've got this information. There was a reason for me to do all this stuff. Yeah, you know? Definitely. And there's probably 2 jurors out there that may be alive that could say they with this new stuff, they wouldn't have voted for conviction. But there's a couple of things and that we found out. One of the allegations was in the petition that the 2 snitches, the guy's first name was Croiser, and the name is Chester. We believe that they had given a exchange immunity for their testimony. We made that allegation. You understand what I mean? Yes. You know, he could have done this, but the trial wasn't fair. Maybe these other guys helped him.
Spoon River Gothic is a production of Lonebird Media in association with CZ Studio and Radio Vérité. The show is produced by August Olson, editing, directing, and producing by Cory Zimmerman, audio mastering and engineering by E. Mastered. Research is done by Anne-Marie Cannon, Chelsea Mesa, and me, Jinra Illustrissimo. Spoon River Gothic is written and hosted by Cory Zimmerman. You can follow the show at czstudio.works and read the blog at spoonrivergothic.com. Show some love by leaving us a rating or review on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And stay tuned for the next episode as we dive deeper into the Donald Bull case. Thank you for listening. This is Spoon River Gothic, narrative of a double homicide.